Welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. Well, as it is right now, we talk about sporting moment in the world of sport. We know that AFCON draw has been made. That was yesterday, and a big one for Nigeria. Super Eagles. They are battle ready because now they know their foes come December 2025 towards 2026. Big one coming up there. We look at this and other stories in the world of sport. Well, for yesterday's game that was played between Kwara United and Enyimba. Let's look at that fourth story. Kwara United beat Enyimba in Ilorin. Well, it was a fantastic performance from Kwara United as they were able to win 2-0 in that particular encounter. Well, for the fact that they were able to win that game, that's a good one for the team that actually won courtesy of Alalade and also Amo here, who were able to score those 2 goals for Kwara United as they defeated Enyimba International. Congrats to Kwara United for being able to do it, and really they showed their class. 2-0 against Enyimba International with all the experience and all the razzmatazz that followed that particular team. Kwara United winning that game 2-0 in Ilorin actually stood out. Well, looking at the way the table stands now, right now, if you check how NPFL is, after they played that particular game, you want to give kudos to Kwara United for being able to win that particular encounter. Well, let's have that particular table. Now, Enyimba are still maintaining their moment when it comes to table standing in the NPFL for the fact that they were able to do well. But actually, they lost against Kwara United. For Kwara United, they stand 11 right now with 26 points from 19 matches. And you look at what they've done, and you just have to give kudos to all of them. Well, a big one there. Let's just move away from this, at least coming back to the studio, talking about the story that we have for you. Although we also have the chance, we're hoping the phone line later. The good one is that you have the chance to also react concerning the AFCON draw that was made yesterday over there in Morocco. Well, as we speak right now, we look at the first story that has to do with the AFCON 2025. Well, we know that Nigeria will be playing against Tanzania, also Uganda, not forgetting Tunisia in their own group. AFCON 25 draw, Nigeria in Group C with Tanzania, Uganda, and Tunisia. Big one yesterday because of the fact that a lot of Nigeria were hoping that will be a group of death. Is it an easy group? Do you agree this group is an easy group? Some are saying, it's an easy group. Some are saying, no. We'll be opening phone line, but not now. Just hold on before we open the phone line so that we can at least talk together on that. But for this particular AFCON 2025 that will be starting in December 21st, 2025, and it will be ending January 2026. Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania, they will be facing themselves in Group C in this particular competition. Well, we know that Nigeria came second in the last edition, and it was a tough one against Cote d'Ivoire, the team that actually hosted the competition, and they were able to host and win. All right, now we'll be playing against Tunisia. We faced them before, round of 16, if you remember. They bundled us out sometimes back in the same AFCON. And when it comes to Tanzania, the Taifa team of Tanzania, and also the Crane of Uganda and the Carthage Eagles. Can we make it easily? Is it an easy group? Well, we have our usual suspect in the studio who is actually with us to talk sport. Olawale Peter is here. Olawale Peter, before you joined us, we talked about Kwara United beating Enyimba 2-0, and a fantastic performance for Kwara United because no one saw that coming. A lot of people always believe that anytime Enyimba faces other teams, they will always win. But this time around, Kwara United showed their class, defeating Enyimba 2-0 silently. They did the big one over there in Ilorin. Then before we talk about AFCON. So 2-1 for you. Good to have you on the show.
Okay, thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here. I think Enyimba.
Okay, before you talk, you actually look nice on there.
Because of you, when I was coming this morning, I wanted to put on a blue because I'm in love with blue.
Okay, don't want to attack you for wearing blue.
I'm in love with blue, but immediately I realized that, I'll be coming on show today. Adeni will do as usual, so let me just change my wardrobe.
Okay, maybe I should just commend you for not wearing blue. At least Chelsea lost that game. So
blue lost to blue.
Deep blue lost to light blue or sky blue.
It's blue.
Blue is blue.
Blue is blue.
But you never agree that blue is blue.
Blue is blue.
The day you do well, you never agree that blue is blue.
Today, let's assume that blue is blue.
Okay, crown is blue today. Okay, let's run this.
Okay, so I think Enyimba, they really have to get their rhythm back again, okay, because it's going to be like back-to-back loss to them. To Kano Pillars also, they lost 2-0 before
Kwara United,
and the same goal margin that they lost. So I think something is really fundamentally not right with the team right now. You know, for a team to be doing very well, especially in the NPFL that we have right now, you don't need to start believing on the past or the whole glory, because the Enyimba team and even their fans in Nigeria, just like we have the supporters of some clubs I don't want to mention in Europe, they believe that the league belongs to them based on history. So that also in one way or the other psychologically affects the players. So they normally look at everybody that they are inferior to them. I've seen a lot of my friends that they support Enyimba in Nigeria, and they will tell you that they are the best and the only club in this country that have won back-to-back Champions League, you know, all these bragging rights. So the players also they are allowing that to get to them. So what the other things they are doing right now is anytime they are playing Enyimba, it's like they look at them as we are playing an African champion. So you see that they always come out extra effort to be in there. So they need to really get that right, and they also need to work more on their defense, because this season alone they are the third that have conceded goals in the league table. So that shows that they are not getting their defensive right. Then the attacking right also, their midfield. I'm seeing a lot of you watch the match against Kwara United. They considered the penalty in the first 3 minutes. So they are not really well coordinated. The communication between the keepers and the defenders, it's not really there. And once you lose that communication, that coordination, that control as a goalkeeper, you'll be having what you are seeing right now. But it's still not too late for them. Just 20 matches. They still have about 16 matches to go. So let's see what happens at the end of the day. But they really need to get themselves right again.
Okay, talking about Enyimba International there. Well, from the way it is right now, we just look at AFCON, for AFCON 2025. Well, as it is, let's just have a glimpse of the whole draw before we come back to our lift. I can actually do justice to it. Then after that, we open the phone line for you to react. Looking at this particular full 2025 AFCON 25 draw there. Group A, Morocco, the host nation, Comoros, Zambia, and Mali. Morocco-Comoros will be the first match. That will be on December 21st, 2025, on a Sunday. That will be the first match of the competition that will be opening the 35th edition of African Cup of Nations. Group B, Zimbabwe, Angola, South Africa, Egypt, Tanzania, Uganda, Tunisia, Nigeria, and Group C. Group D, Botswana, Benin Republic, DR Congo, Senegal. Group E, we have Sudan, Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso, Algeria. Group F is Mozambique, Gabon, Cameroon, and current holder, that's Côte d'Ivoire. Well, as it is, let me start with this, with Olalipta, before we fully concentrate on Group C. Here, which group is the group of death, as we normally call it?
Okay, I'll pick Group A. Yeah,
Group A is the group of death?
It's a group of death, yes. And if you look at
what Zambia,
Mali, Morocco, and even Cameroon also, you can't push them away.
No more minnows.
No more minnows when it comes to African football right now. We saw what they did, and we saw what they did even during the qualifier stages also, and the friendlies that they played. So to me, Group A would be very tight on. Why do I say so? Morocco being the host country, and seeing what they did at the last edition of the World Cup in Qatar, getting to the semi-final, being the first African team to get to that semi-final. They want to work upon that, knowing fully that they are also co-hosting the World Cup. So it's a lot of awareness for them. So it's more like automatically they're going to qualify from the group. So it's only one that will now qualify with them. So you have to look at Mali, a very good good team. Zambia, a compact, good team. The Comoros also that can come and surprise anybody also. So to me, I'll pick Group A as a first group of death. We have a lot of group of death, and we are very lucky as a nation that we don't find ourselves in that situation that we have. Then number 2, look at Zimbabwe, Angola, South Africa, and Egypt. On paper, everybody will give it to South Africa and Egypt. But don't be surprised, the Angolan team also, we saw what they did at the last edition of the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. They play a very unit and possession-based game. So that shows that they are improving and they are developing also. So the Angola team that we saw at the last edition of the AFCON will be different from the Angola team that we're going to see this time around. And don't forget, for every AFCON edition, you have about 1, 2, or 3 teams that will come and bring out the surprise. So I'm tipping Angola to do that. They play very, 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 very good game during the last edition of the AFCON. So let's see what's going to happen in that group. That's Group C. That's Group B. Now for Group C,
our own group.
I think if you look at it, not by name, but on paper, the possibility of us qualifying, it's even more, it's not that certain like people say. Now, what do I mean? In football, there's tradition. In football, there's analysis. And then in football, there is determination. Now, let's ask ourselves, if you take the tradition, which is the history, and for the history, it normally comes to play like 70 to 80%. If I've been defeating you before, the possibility of me still defeating you will still be there. So the odds of me defeating you, bringing out the surprise, will be about 20 or 25%. Now, let's pick from Tanzania. Tanzania has only been at the AFCON twice, 1980 and 2019. Those are the only 2 times that they've participated in the AFCON, and they didn't pass through the group stages. Head-to-head between Nigeria and Tanzania, we met them 4 times. We played 4 times rather. We won twice. We drew twice. So that means we have 100% record against them. And looking at their history also in the AFCON, they are nowhere to be found. But do not forget this: in football, history happens, and the determination I spoke about was what made the Saudi Arabian team to defeat the Argentina at the World Cup. It has never happened before, but it happened during the World Cup. So how sure are we that the same thing cannot repeat itself against Nigeria? Because they've never defeated us before, we've been winning them, and they have nothing to lose. So that's that on against Tanzania. Now let's go to Uganda. Surprisingly, we've met 9 times, and they've defeated us 5 times. We won twice, and we drew twice. From the 9 times that we met Uganda, we met at the AFCON 5 times. We won twice, they won us twice, and we drew 1. So it's not really favoring us as if they're a team. In fact, the last 5 matches we played against Uganda, they won twice, we drew, they won us twice, we drew twice, and we only won them once. So that shows that if you look at all these statistics, all this tradition, all this history against Uganda, it's not favoring us. The last time we played them was in 2018. So they are not a team that we've been playing. And during the qualifying stages, this same Uganda team, they play against the Ghanaian team. They played 2-2 draw. Against South Africa, 2-2 draw. They came out from the group of South African, and they only lost to South Africa by 1 point. They garnered 14 points from their group, where South Africa topped the group with 15 points. So don't think that when you talk about Uganda, they're only playing rugby. No, or cricket. No, in football also, they are fast developing. So it's going to be, and they are physical in nature also. It's like we are playing our Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, or Benin Republic. Any physical game is always difficult for us. So, and this is a team that they are ready to bring a lot of surprises. They made it out of the group stages before. In fact, in 2019, they lost at the round of 16. And they lost to who? They lost to Senegal. They eventually won the competition. 1-0 by Sadio Mane. It was one that scored the winning goal against them. So it was a very tough game for Senegalese team to win. So that shows that you cannot do what?
Write them
off. Now let's talk about our familiar foe. That is Tunisia. We've met them 15 times. We won 6 times. They won us 7 times, and we drew 8 times. So that shows that the odd is not favoring us. The statistic, the tradition is not favoring us against Uganda and against Tunisia also. And we are 4, and how many teams will qualify? 2 teams. So if you have to look at it on paper, Tunisia came first, Uganda second, then Nigeria came third. And don't forget, this is the same Nigerian team that the last 10 matches we've played, qualifiers in Africa, we only won 2. We only won Benin Republic at home, we won Libya at home. The remaining 8, we lost like 5, we drew like 3. So our performances has not been that fantastic. And do not forget this popular saying in Africa, that a sheep led by lion can easily defeat an army of lion led by sheep. I don't know if you get it. So we have a very good team. So I'll call them the sheep of Super Eagles. But is our coach the lion that needs to take them to the glory land? Because what we need now, what will win this competition is the tactics and the strategy of the coach and the respect of the coaches that will be coaching most of these nations. So take it or leave it. As far as I'm concerned, Group C also is a group of death, looking at the current performance of Super Eagles. Individually, we are doing very well. Take it or leave it. Individually, they are doing very well. If you look at what our players are doing week in, week out in Europe, they are playing very well. But bringing them together, because if you want to win a football team, you have to play like a unit. Look at the Bournemouth of in Premier League. Look at the Nottingham Forest. They play compact football, possession-based football. They work together, they cover themselves. They know where Mr. A will be, that Mr. B will cover up and put in the ball. So that is what we've been lacking in Nigerian football, up to date. So I think we seriously, this is January, we are talking about December. We'll be looking at, we still have about 10 months, we have 11 months. We don't have that time. The first litmus test we're going to have is in March, our World Cup qualifiers. So if we did not get it right, so that means it's going to be, and take it or leave it, we are the team that everybody in our group wants to defeat, because we are the second runners up in the last edition. Not Tunisia, not Tanzania, not Uganda, it is Nigeria. So they'll be well prepared for us. So the question is, how prepared are we?
Okay, that question coming from Olawale Peters there. As it says, we're talking about AFCON 2025 that will be starting from 24th of December and ending January 18, 2026. The first time in the history of AFCON where it will actually move from one year to the other, playing two different years in one competition. But now we looked at groups, Group A, B, C, D, and E, and F. But now we are already in Group C, which is our Group C. But now we have to do this. We have to open the phone line. Do you think our group is easy group? Is an easy group or what? Because a lot of people are beginning to say we're going to win, we're going to easily qualify. But from what Olawale Peter said, he mentioned history, analysis, and also the at least determination of these teams like Tanzania, Uganda to do well, especially like Tanzania. And then looking at Tunisia and Uganda, we don't have any power over them. If we check the record that he mentioned, statistically, we've been on the same level. In fact, they exceed us slightly. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria, in that Group C, let's have that particular number on the screen there for Nigerians to react. Please remember, the rule of the game is stay away from your TV set or turn down the volume of your television so that easily you can hear us, and then we can also hear you easily. So while we are waiting for your reaction, this particular group, Group C, is in an easy group. An easy group, the question mark, don't underrate Tanzania, Uganda, or even the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. The Taifas of Tanzania, the Cranes of Uganda, they are all equally very good. And we've seen what has happened in football where Saudi Arabia shocked Argentina. We've seen where nations that are called minnows before are no longer minnows because that particular word in football is out. So let's have your reaction there. Remember, when you are calling, stay away from your TV set or turn it down. They mention your name and your location. Tell us, is it an easy group or very dicey? We're waiting for that. While we are waiting for your call to call in and make your point. We also look at the remaining part of the draw. We already done with Group C. We've done A, B, and C. According to Olaya Peters, Group A remain is group of death, and also not forgetting Group B. And now we have Group C. So you have the number on the screen there. AFCON 25 Group C: Tanzania, Uganda, Tunisia, Nigeria. Easy group with a question mark. Call the number on your screen. Stay away from your TV set. Turn the volume down. Tell us your name and your location. Let's have it. Can we make it easily? Well, it's always easy to say Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. Well, let's go back to Group D. While we're looking at this, Group D: Botswana, Benin Republic, DR Congo, Senegal.
Okay, so I don't see this as group of death. I see this as more of easy ride for the Senegalese team.
The Teranga Lions.
Yeah, Teranga Lions of Senegalese, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. And I don't see any one of them bringing out any surprises against the Senegalese team.
Okay, Nigerians want to react now.
Definitely.
Let's have it. Hello, are you there? Hello? Okay, so Olawale, you have to go back to your at least
So
analysis.
I think the Senegalese team, and they have an edge over the DR Congo, over the Botswana and Benin Republic, and they have been improving for the past 10 years, coming to the AFCON semi-final, and they lost to Egypt. They came back again, defeated Egypt. They won the Nations Cup, but the last edition was more like a disappointing outing for them as far as I'm concerned, because they are among the team that would tipped that they will win the AFCON, but unfortunately the Cote d'Ivoire team and they gave AFCON a new dimension, because they are already ruled out. They even got to the round of 16 through the best loser, and you can see how they, and that is one thing about a competition like AFCON or World Cup. You have to be improving on game-to-game basis. Your second game should be better than your first game. Your third game, which is the last game in your group, should be better than your second game in the group. Same thing with your round of 16 and quarterfinal. That is what they did. They improved on game-to-game basis, unlike Nigeria. Our first game is always our best game. That's when everybody will now hype, oh, Nigeria, we've arrived. Look how we did to Egypt, Tunisia. We will defeat everybody. But look at the second game. We're not like, what happened now? But the first game was, so that is what we really need to work in. So on the coach match analysis, they have a lot to do. To study our opponents, to do the SWOT analysis. What are their areas of strength? What are our own area of weaknesses? So what do we need to improve against the second match? I will continue saying this. You don't go to a competition with only one formation. No. Football has advanced and improved more than that. You don't need to have a player that they can only play one static position. You don't need to have a player that the only thing they can play is right back. No, we need wing back. You don't need a player that cannot act as a libero or a stopper when the case arises. So if you are setting up your team, set up your team, your first 11, that you can change your formation depending on what your opponent is playing. If you look at the game Chelsea and Manchester City, both Enzo Maresca and Pep Guardiola, they played the same formation. That was why the first half, you see that the midfield were crowded. They want to play possession-based football. But second half, Guardiola changed the tactics. He played more from the wing. So he left the midfield. Okay, you want to crowd the midfield? Crowd the midfield. I'll leave it for you. I'll go through the flanks. And that really worked for them. So that means he has a player that can change the formation from 3-5-2 to 4-2-3-1 to 4-4-2. So that is what we need to do. So you don't need to just take a player that, okay, if Alassane Yusuf is playing, he must play defensive midfielder from beginning to the end. No. You must be able, look at Alex Iwobi, for example. What Alex Iwobi is playing at Kwara is different from what he plays when it comes to Nigeria. And that also we need to look at, where are the strengths of our players? Where can they play and work effectively? If you can do that, I think we don't have a problem. But if you don't do that, we just come back here and do the same thing. So for Group D, I think Senegal, they have easy ride. It's the like of Botswana, Benin Republic,
DR
and
Congo.
DR Congo will be the one to slug it out and see who will qualify with Senegal.
We're talking about this particular AFCON 2025 draw that was played yesterday over there in Morocco, and all the teams are now, they know their foes, they know who they will have to hold on to. Well, looking at the groups, Group A, B, C, and D, where we stop right now, they will still have E and F. Remember to call us, although a lot of people are trying to call in, maybe it's network, trying to pick it, but each time we do that, it's always going up. But as it is right now, we're still expecting that when you call in, tell us your name and your location, and tell us maybe our group C, is it an easy group? Is it really easy? But looking at what he said, or at least when he was actually talking about that group, you look at history, analysis, and also a determination of Tanzania, Uganda, and Tunisia. We just have to be very, very big. We have to be very careful because it's a banana peel in our group that a lot of people are saying is an easy group. Well, let's go to that particular AFCON. We're talking about the draws there. We look at Group E, while we also look at Sudan, Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Algeria. Another tough group.
Yeah, tough group. I mean, tough group because of the Equatorial Guinea. And
Burkina Faso.
You said what?
Burkina Faso too.
No, that's what I'm saying. That
okay.
It's a tough group because of Equatorial Guinea. If not, we'll have said it's between Burkina Faso and Algeria. But Equatorial Guinea also, with their own improvement, the way they've improved in their own football as a nation also, we've seen that it's not going to be Burkina Faso or Algeria. Equatorial Guinea will also give them the run for their money. Then the Sudan also, we cannot write them off. Because someone that is already on the ground,
on the floor,
on the ground, like they do normally say, they have nothing to lose. They'll come and play a spoiler. Who say that they will not draw against Algeria or Burkina Faso? When Algeria or Burkina Faso, they are looking for a win. They're already going home. What they want to do is just to come and mark registered, mark attendance. On year-to-year basis, they will improve on their own performance and have a status bar that, okay, for every Nations Cup also with we are qualifying. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's going to be between the Equatorial Guinea and Burkina Faso and the Algeria. But we know one thing, and you write it down today, it will be very difficult for any other region in Africa to win this AFCON edition in North African soil if it is not a North African team. It will be very difficult.
Okay, why did you say that? So that at least viewers can easily understand why.
Okay,
is it because they are playing?
In terms of preparation, they are the region that are more and well prepared than any other region in Africa. In terms of infrastructure, facility, in terms of loving football, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco, you take them first before you take
even Libya. Even Sudan.
Look at what even. So you can see where my analysis is going to. Then number three, when you're talking about home support. Home support. We've seen what they've done when they're even playing the CAF Champions League, the African Continental, what have you matches. We saw the way they rally through to the stadium to support their own. Imagining when they are now hosting it. When was the last time they hosted it? So that shows that it will be a tough battle, a very tough one, because you don't know the importance of supporters. Like for example, you have a 50,000 capacity, and you have almost 40,000. They are your supporters. That one alone, if you are not experienced, for any pass you make will be a mistake, because the way the shouts will come, the way they.
That's why I commend Ghana when they came to Abuja, to at least get that slot away from Super Eagles at the Abuja Stadium. Looking at the capacity of the support, in fact, Ghanaian supporter was like a miniature of, let's just say,
about 5,
99
about
to
5,000.
Exactly. They are not even up to 5,000. I was there. I saw they are not even up to 3,000, not even up to 2,000 people that came to support Ghana. Because when they were leading and were happy, they were scared. They were just one fold. And they were able to do it. So imagine if Moroccans coming out, it's closer to Egypt, closer to Algeria, like you said, Libya, they all come out to support their teams. So I understand what you're saying now, that really it's going to be very tough for other regions, national teams to lift that trophy. Okay, let's take this call finally. Least, okay, let's take this. Hello, are you there? Hello? Hello? Can you please turn it down, the volume of your TV set? Okay, so please, if you are calling us, stay away from your TV set or turn the volume down so that we can easily hear you. Okay, are you there? Okay, so we're still waiting. A lot of people are trying to seriously call, but it's jamming themselves because
we have to appeal to the network provider also to please release this line to allow our people to call in.
it just like remind me when Nigeria wants to play a match. Okay, the next day is lights will go off. Yeah. So you always wonder why is it like that? Okay, for the business owner to make more money or what? Okay, going back to what you were saying, let's look at group. We're looking at group A, B, C, and D, and I think we are on E already. Looking at group F, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. Cote d'Ivoire, they are defending champion holders right now. Emasifere, we want to prove to everybody that him taking over was not a fluke. Cameroon, one of the wounded lions in African football, always there, indomitable every time. They want to come now to make statements. Gabon, they can't underrate them. Mozambique too, qualifying for this tournament was not a child's play. They made it. So, Group F.
Okay, so I think after Group A, I'll pick Group F also.
Another tough group.
Another tough group. Why is it a tough group? We have the likes of Cote d'Ivoire, who are the defending champion. And they want to come and prove one thing, that winning it is not because we hosted it. Winning it is because we deserved it. Then number two, they are the team that not like in our own team that, okay, we came second, we are the first runner-up, and everybody wants to beat us in our own team. Cote d'Ivoire is the team that every nation at the AFCON wants to defeat. Defeating a defending champion, even if you didn't go far, it's something of a pride to you, to the Gabonese, to the Mozambique, and also to the Cameroon. And you made mention of wounded lion. The Cameroonians, they are wounded. Before, in Africa, they used to be like the Brazilian of the world. They win it twice, 3 times, or what have you. But for the past few years, we've seen what has happened. Even with Samuel Eto'o coming in as their FA chairman, it's still not looking good for them. So I think they've already made up their mind on what to do. What they want to do, they want to go out there and prove to everybody that they are back. And they start that from their own group stage. So that group also will be very interesting. Then Gabon also, they can be a spoiler. They can be a spoiler in the sense that it's not going to be an easy ride for Cameroon or the Cote d'Ivoire to ride over them. The Mozambique also, they are just there. Just like you rightly mentioned, they didn't qualify because they didn't deserve to be there. They qualified because of hard work, committed, and dedication. And also going there, how sure are we that they will not defeat Cote d'Ivoire in their first match? And once that is done, that shows that they've gained enough confidence that they need to go in with the team. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. But I pick Group A and Group F as my group of death.
Okay, well, we are picking Group A and F according to our as group of death. We're also looking at Nigeria in our Group C, calling us there at least, even though we don't know, the network seems not to be, maybe a lot of issues here and there concerning when it comes to call. Anyway, anything can happen. But we just hope that we continue to get it right. But as it is, if you are calling us, stay from your TV set, mention your name, your location. Let's see, we do have an easy group. Well, now, as we're talking, Group A and F as the toughest group for you. Elaji Diop, the Senegalese legend, has already picked Morocco as the nation that is looking at to win this AFCON. Joseph Yobo is saying, well, from what the Super Eagles are doing in Europe, we have one of the best teams, alongside Mutiu, headmaster Adekoju, saying we are also good to go. Even NFL president Ibrahim Gusso is also saying, well, Eagles are in good advantage position to also do well. Of course, they just have to, they need to motivate these guys. And looking at the players, what they are doing in Europe, the motivation will actually come in. But really, since Elaji Diop is speaking Morocco, because they are the host nation, they are developed, the football has developed, the player, the coach, Regrake, and everything about Morocco seems to be on a standard, that level of European football.
Okay, now,
so, where are you dwelling?
Adeni, I live sentiment when we're talking about sports.
Okay.
I face the reality. 90 to 95% of Nigerian players, Super Eagles players, they play in Europe. I'm one of those that criticize shifting the AFCON to November, December.
No, December, January.
Sorry, December, January. Already, Europe fixture is always very, very, very tight between December and January. They play even more matches than any other month. Most of these players take it or leave it, their club comes first before their country. And we are not a nation that we develop our own domestic league that 50 or 60% of our players will be taken from the domestic league. Like we have in the Algeria team, we have in the Moroccan team, we have in the Egyptian team. So that's an advantage that they have, because about 50 or 60% of their players may be home-based. We've seen that times without number. They only pick staff from Europe, maybe 3 or 4. So they will not be affected with that December, January fixtures. So that would be a disadvantage to us. And that is very, very, very key. They want to retain their position, so the time that they will release the players to start the preparation, they can't release them like a month. But those that are playing their domestic league can be released in a month. But they can't afford to do that. That's number one, a great disadvantage to us. Number two, we still don't have a pattern. We don't have a style of play. We don't have a brand that when Super Eagles is playing, this is what we are expecting. We still don't have that.
And we have a new coach.
And we now have a new coach that has never, ever gotten to semi-final or final. Experience matters a lot. Experience matters in the sense that you get to a competition that your substitution will be the one that will win a game for you. That is what they call experience. You take that risk. Look at some of the matches that some countries, even the Nigeria, the last time we won the AFCON, I can't still forget what Stephen Keshi did by gambling on Sunday Mba. That scored a goal.
An home-base.
Home-base player. So that's what we are talking about. So to be honest with you, I don't see us among the contenders at all. That's the reality. Because I still don't see us as being prepared for this. So in line with what Samuel Eto'o said, that Elijah Diop, that Morocco, I said it earlier in the opening statement. Looking at their performance at the last in World Cup, looking at the team, the structure that they play as a team. What do I mean by structure? When you have a team that you cannot pin down a player or two players, that everybody comes and play together as a unit, it's very difficult to defeat that team. That is what Moroccan, that's what they are. Number two, they are playing in their home soil. I will continue to say that.
Massive support.
The
from
massive
the fans.
support, and the way they are dedicated to make their fans proud, to show to the world that, okay, we got to the semi-final, we want to host and win also. You know, they go to Cote d'Ivoire today and see how the football-loving fans will be telling you, we hosted the last AFCON and we won it. So that also, they want to break it. So I will pick Morocco, take it or leave it, at my number one. Then any other
team can follow.
No, not any other team. Any other North African team.
Maybe Egypt.
Egypt. In fact, I won't be surprised if you are seeing a North African derby on the final.
Okay.
Morocco, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. And that will be very massive, because you can imagine the rivalry between them. And however, there are nations that they also, when it comes to football, they support themselves. Even if Tunisia is not playing in the final, the Tunisian fans will support the Moroccan team, or they will support the Algerian team. So I think it is their time this time around. But however, this is football. It's football. If you are determined, if you are really determined, and we do our preparation on time, take it or leave it. We have the best squad in Africa today.
Okay,
we have the best squad.
Okay, well, looking at AFCON 2025 there, a lot of people have been trying to call in. It seems network is really angry that they place us alongside Tanzania and Uganda. Maybe the network actually wanted Egypt or Morocco just so that you can fire them. Anyway, that's football. Just try to create some comic on the show. But right now, we've been talking concerning Super Eagles being in Group C alongside Tanzania. We have them, we call them Taifa of Tanzania, the Crane of Uganda, and also the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Well, I'll let us at least be able to do justice to that particular Group C. That is going to be an easy ride. That's why we put that question mark, an easy group. A lot of people have been trying to call in, but we seriously apologize, sincerely rather, that It seems the network is not our friend at all today. Like I joked, maybe the network wanted Egypt and South Africa to be in our group to deal with them. Anyway, right now, still talking about this. One more talk on this before we just look at some other story before we wrap it up. Looking at this particular AFCON 2025, it seems to be a different one because it's the first time we're going to be playing from December to January. It has never happened. One year to another year. So we're having 2025, 2026 AFCON now. So 21st of December to 18th of January. And like you mentioned, most clubs, because that's where the problem is always coming from, releasing of players, those European clubs, they always find a way to hold players down against their wish or will to come for their national team, to answer their fatherland's call. And maybe this is a sign that CAF really need to quickly take it, nip it in the bud now, and begins to sensitize these clubs. Maybe they should have a parley with. I'm looking at it as in what is always. Why is it always very common to AFCON? When it comes to other continental championship, just player will easily go. But when it comes to AFCON, it's always a kind of decision that holds down our football stars to come back home.
Okay, so Adeni, football is what?
Business.
It's business. The same way sports is what? Business. It is we in Africa that we have to get ourselves right. We have to be more organized. Now, you made mention of other
continental championship.
When did they play it? They play it during summer and during break.
So what we need to do is to plan it.
That is what they do. When did they play Euro? The Qatar that they play in December is because of the weather. If not for that, we know that if they want to play Euro, they want to play South American, whatever they want to play, they play it during the summer when the players are on break. With that, they have no excuse.
So automatically, as you don't understand, why would CAF? Okay, so sometimes they actually come up with issue of weather, a lot of African weather, kind of okay, Morocco, all those axes now.
Our weather is favorable during that period. So I see it as more of ego issue, and it's affecting a lot of things.
We don't want to follow them.
Yes, definitely. So there are some things that you just have to, you don't have a choice over. Because most of these players, they have to make ends meet. And the African football is not as developed as what they have in Europe. So most of them the dream of most players is to play in Europe. If you want to play in Europe, you have to abide by their time. And the timing is very, we know from from August or September to April or May, that is football season in Europe. So whenever you want to plan as a continent, what stops you from doing it or planning it? Okay, we have our AFCON going forward in the month of June. What stops us from doing that? Or we have it in the month of July, because we have June, it's always free. You have July, it's always free. It is August that the season normally starts, and it ends in May. So why are you not doing it in the middle? Now, for example, let me give you a very good example. Olaida is doing very well now in Nottingham Forest. In fact, a lot of clubs are looking out for him. In December, they need him because he's their #1 choice. And he has about 7 or 8 matches to play between that December to January. And you want him to be released like in November for early preparation. Let's be sincere, is that going to be possible? So we have the likes of Kevin Bassey also. Look at how improved he has. Look at Alex Iwobi for Fulham also. So I can start naming most of these players that the club depends on them. And it's at the peak of their business that you want to take them away for months. Even the players, they be having this second thought that if I go and someone take my place, to enter back to be a problem. So they are also about their own career. So I think CAF, the executives, they have to sit down and look at how to redesign. This is not about colonial mentality or what have you. No, it is purely business. It's a win-win situation for us, for the players, and for the European team also. So that's why I look at it.
A big one there, we talked about the AFCON 2025 and also all those things attached to it with Olari Peters in the studio. We want to sincerely apologize for the call not being able to connect. A lot of people actually phoned in. But sincerely, we apologize for that. But while we are talking about this, Nigeria, Tanzania, Tunisia, and Uganda will be locking at least the horns by December and towards January. Hopefully, Nigeria will qualify from that group and also begin to see how they can work hard and smarter to win this AFCON. Even though a lot of people are tipping Morocco already, it can be achieved. It can be done. Coach Eric Chell need our support. The players themselves need to believe in themselves, as we always hope that Super Eagles will also make us proud. At their lowest, that's when they always shine. Well, no one is tipping them now, and that could be a blessing in disguise. Well, let's cross over from that and just touch on one or two stories before we wrap it up. And now let me drag Olawale as a bit. Maresca, let me start from that one. That particular, let's have that story. As it is, Maresca still maintains his trust in the man of the moment, Sanchez. Well, looking at that, though, you look at Chelsea, the goalkeeper. What's something is wrong?
Okay, I will answer it. But you are always happy anytime Chelsea is losing. I can see the joy.
Oh my
in
goodness.
You.
I'm just trying to. Before I started this, I said, let me drag you a bit. It was just a banter.
You want to drag Chelsea. You're not dragging.
Maresca maintains trust in Sanchez. Despite costly error, and this error is becoming very incessant. It's becoming too common.
Yeah, I'll be very happy if Robert Sanchez and Nicolas Jackson would be the end of Enzo Maresca as a coach in Chelsea. See, there's nothing wrong in giving a player a confidence. I understand what he's trying to do, but it's costing us a lot. As when I said a lot. A lot of people are blaming Nicolas Jackson. A lot of people have started blaming even Cole Palmer. But don't we forget that if your defense is bad and your goalkeeper is making this constant error, it cannot take you anywhere. Sanchez is not a bad keeper, take it or leave it. Okay, but it doesn't fit into Enzo Maresca's style of play. 1v1, Sanchez is very good. He has made a lot of savings for Chelsea this season. But when it comes to that back play, square play, that is not Sanchez. It's something that you have to be good before you can learn how to do it. So, as far as I'm concerned, you can't have a keeper like Sanchez and you said you are in title race. No, you're not in title race at all.
Okay, well, as it is right now, before we go, just two story of Nigerian player that have been signed right now. Let's start with Arco Adams. Has been at least stamped by Sevilla over there in Spanish La Liga from Montpellier. Congrats to Arco Adams. And also talking about Yemechi Bruno, also joining Olympiacos over there in Greece Super League. They are giving you those two stories in the world of sport. We've been with Olawale Peters. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here.
Adeni G. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.